Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Wherever you may be around this globe, it certainly is a beautiful morning and a beautiful morning to get something started. How about that? Isn't it a beautiful day just to, be intentional and get those things started that you had on your heart for such a long time? I'm looking outside, I'm looking at the beautiful trees and the beautiful sunshine that's happening, outside. But how are you feeling today? How is your day going so far? Did you remember to get up and frame your day? Did you remember to set the atmosphere for your day? Did you remember to speak to yourself, getting in that mirror and speaking to yourself to set your level of, productivity, to set your level of momentum, to set your level to win? Have you done that today? If not, this is something that you should always remember to do in the mornings because it makes so much difference in your life. And, you begin to see that your life takes on a different form and you'll have more joy. You'll have more peace. You'll have more productivity. And of course, you'll have that momentum to, crush it. Whatever, you intend to do, you'll have that momentum to crush it. Y'all, I'm telling you, it was such a beautiful weekend. How was your weekend? You know, I spent time, renewing my mind, put it that way, educating myself. This is something that I do on a constant basis. And this is something that's very important for you to do also. Renew your mind, get rid of those toxic thoughts. Get rid of those what ifs and, I don't knows and, buts and, all of those negative things. Because this is a time, this is a season to focus, to truly focus in on what's important to you and what you want to see happen in your life. It's very important, y'all. I always tell you this: invest in a level that you expect results. Is very important to invest in yourself, not just, sit around and, thinking about it, but really get up and do something about it. Put action, toward whatever it is in your heart to do. I spent the weekend, and that's why it was a rebroadcast tape on Friday, because I spent the weekend investing in my knowledge, investing in myself. And this is something that each and every one of you should do. This is something that's very, very important because I'm looking to go to a different level in my life, in my business, taking my audience there. And, you have to always be ahead. You always have to be ahead. It can never be a mediocre thing. A lot of times people, they just making it along, being mediocre. But you have to come out of yourself. You have to expand yourself, expand your mindset, expand your way you think, expand, the way you see things, your perception, and it'll make a big difference in your life. That's why I always tell you, invest in yourself. I was in a room with people who are billionaires because I see this down the line for myself. And you have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. And I'm going to tell you the knowledge that was poured in, the knowledge that was shared, the importation that took place. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And that's why I tell you, you have to write down your vision and make your vision plain. And I'm going to tell you, when your vision is clear, you'll get those results. You'll get those results. And we're going to talk about more of that as, we go into this program talking about vision to produce profitability. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't get that word out this morning, but vision to produce profitability and will value outperform growth. That's something else that you have to think about. Will value outperform growth. You have to be profitable and you have to have a vision that will produce those things. And we're going to, get right down to it. But before I get right down to it, let me introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your number one inspirational book coach. And I teach you how to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. For so many times it happens where women leave money on the table. And why I'm saying women, because women, you are my audience. I have men who are also my audience, but mostly it's women. Women, you are my audience. And a lot of times, you're always putting yourself on the back burner. You're taking care of everybody else's needs. But you know what? It's time for you to look to take care of yourself. What is that you desire? What is it that you want to happen? Where's your dream? Have you put your dreams on the back burner? Have you forgotten about your dream? Y'all, it's time to dream again. It's time to turn that vision into a profitable vision. A profitable vision. Not just sitting there, lying dormant, but an actionable business, an actionable book writing journey, whatever it is that you're into, put some action to it and achieve it. Get out of your mind that, you don't have any value. You have nothing to offer, or you can't see your worth. Because you know what? That's a lie. You do have value and you do have worth. But because you may have been, busy doing things for others, and you're so concerned about them winning that you forgot about yourself. You forgot about, maybe when you were a child. And I'm going to take you back to childhood because these are the formidable years, okay? You had all these big ideas. You had these dreams. You had these visions. You had, everything. You saw it. You begin to, dream about it one day, and one day I'll do this, and one day I'll have this, and one day I'll be able to travel the world, or, teach people, or, sell this, or, do that. And something happened. Something happened. And, that's not pointing anybody out because that happens to everybody. But, today you could make that decision that allows for no turning back. No turning back to being mediocre. But going forward to win. Going forward to crush your dreams. Going forward to rekindle that dream. Today's your day. Today's your day. Let's have a vision to produce profitability. Let's have that vision today. You have to see it in your mind's eye before you see it in the natural, or you'll never see it. You'll never see it. But let's get right into this. And like I said, I thank you, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with me here today, because I believe this is something that's going to be a game changer in your life, to help you see something that you never seen before, to give you that aha moment, to give you that energy, to give you that momentum, to pick up wherever you are, pick up that dream and make it happen. because this is your winning season. This is your winning time. And, we're going to talk about some things that's going to really set the tone for what you intend to do. And the first talking point we're going to talk about is seeing. Okay, seeing it. And I talked about some of that, before I got to this topic. You have to see where you're going before you arrive there, y'all. You have to see it. And you have to see it plain. You know, um, that's why, let me see, let's put it this way. That's why I told you as I open up, invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, don't look at it as it's a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice, okay? Because you're giving up something mediocre to win. Instead, see it as something that's essential for you to move forward in life. You have value. You have worth. Always look to expand that. Always look to expand that. And like I said, when I took this intensive training, and the atmosphere was filled, okay, with possibilities. I left away from that Saturday evening, okay, with all of these, ideas, all of these thoughts that I put action to and I'm putting action to. I begin to see them in a way that it expanded my mindset. And this is something that you have to see. It's not a sacrifice, okay? It's just a moment of growth. And I'm not saying I was doing anything mediocre. I'm just moving in my life from level to level at deeper depths, higher heights and deeper depths. And that's something that, we all should do. We all should do. Because everything is evolving. Everything is evolving. And you have to see that. You have to see, things are changing. And especially if you're an author out there, especially if you're a business owner out there, especially if you said you're a coach of this or a coach of that, whatever it is, wherever you have an audience, you should always constantly be evolving. And your mind should be expanded. Your mind should have new ideas. Your vision should be expanding. Everything about you should be expanding. It's very important, y'all. It's very important to begin to see where you're going. You have to see it. Because if the road is cloudy, if the road is dark, how are you going to see? That's why I always tell you to write your vision down. Write it on paper, y'all. Always keep it before your eyes. Write your goals. Write your plans in order to reach those goals. Know the strategies that you need in order to make those things happen. And, keep it before you. Don't just, tuck it away in the drawer or, just leave it somewhere and not look at it. Always keep it before your eyes. So if something is not working the way that you intend for it to work, you sit there, you strategize, and you try it a different way. Use a different method. These things are a necessity. These things will help you win. And, good morning, Russ. How you doing today? They'll help you win. They'll help you achieve your goals. They'll help you see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. Keep it before your eyes. When it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But as you're constantly looking at it, it becomes alive. Because your vision, in actuality, y'all, your vision is alive. Your vision is a living thing. Your vision is you. You are your vision. That's why I tell you to be unapologetically you. Embrace your uniqueness. Embrace who you are. Don't try to be a copycat. Love yourself. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. All these things are very important to produce profitability. Vision to produce profitability. Very, very important. Now, here's another one that's worth, talking about. Being definite. Being definite. You have to get outside of other people's opinions. A lot of times people, they don't really know who they are. You may even heard someone say, I'm trying to find myself. I got to get away. I'm trying to find myself. When I heard this years ago, and this was before, even I knew what this term was. I'm going to tell you, I heard this probably in my early 20s from someone. And I asked the sister of this person, I said, where is so-and-so? And she said, well, she went to California because she's going to find herself. Find herself. And I didn't understand that term until years later. She did not know who she was. Because, and I'm just saying this, and this is what happens to a lot of people. They are stuck in somebody else's opinion of who they are. It could be friends, influencers, parents, an authority figure like teachers or whatever, placing labels on people. That's why, I don't like when people try to place labels on people, saying, well, they're this, they're that. And especially, when a child, and I'm looking at it this way, when a child is having problems in school, and they're going to say, well, this child has a learning disability, or this child is what they call is ADD, or, SLD, or whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is. And that stigma just follows that child throughout life, all throughout life. Maybe that child is bored in that class. Maybe they're not, they having problems. Do people really think about that? Well, maybe this class or this teacher or whatever is not working for my child. But if my child was in this class or in this school, they could achieve better. And I'm not saying in all cases. But, this is where a lot of things take place. And if a person continues to hear, well, I'm ADD, or, I have a slow learning disability, or, I have this, I have that, guess what their mind's going to be set to? Guess how they're going to go through life? Guess how they're going to think about themselves? You have to be careful how you define people, okay? And You have to be careful how others define you. And this is what happens a lot of times. Other people's opinions causes a person or you to fail or to miss your mark. I always tell you, find that secret place, that place all alone by yourself, that solitary place. Get a paper and pen, or speak into your phone, the recorder, and really define who you are. Take a moment and define who you are, your likes, your dislikes, your purpose, your passion, your audience, and all of these things. Define yourself, but be definite. Be definite. Don't ever be ashamed of who you are. Who you are matters. Your uniqueness matters. Because that's the one thing that will connect your audience to you. Don't ever be ashamed of your uniqueness, but get outside of other people's opinion. Because if not, this is what happens. You'll start begging others for help, okay? Especially if you're in, this social media thing. You're always online, or, you're going from this live stream, this podcast, and, you're a business owner, or you're a coach, or you're writing a book, or whatever, okay? You'll find yourself always begging somebody. Well, how you do this and how you do that? Let me see, what systems you're using. Let me see if I could pattern what I'm doing behind you. Let me see, about connections. Who that could help me, or, how can I get in touch with this one and that one? Who do you know that, I could connect with that will, move me ahead, and blah, 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 and blase, blase, okay? You know it. And if they don't come through, you might get mad, okay? Or you could feel left out. Or, you might have a bad attitude. But if you knew who you were and your purpose, and I'm not saying that, it's bad to, ask other people's advice, or, but to a point, y'all, to a point, you have to know who you are, because you have to know what fits you. Everything doesn't fit you. Remember, our fingerprints are unique, just like our identity. Our identity is unique. And we can't, pattern our lives behind somebody else. So this is another part of seeing. You have to have clarity. So be definite. Be definite with your purpose. Be definite with your plans. Be definite with your vision, because it matches you. It's not going to match anybody else. Just like what they have, their vision, their purpose, their dreams, their goals is not going to match you. Okay? How they do things, and you may see them winning, but they're doing it according to their purpose, according to, their pattern. The same thing with connections. When we're talking about collaboration, collaborate with purpose. Not to just have all these people on your team, but collaborate with purpose, because each person, each connection is a segment. They have their vision. You have yours. Somebody else has theirs. Somebody else has theirs. And when it's fitly joined together, according to a purpose, it's going to work. But if it's not fitly joined together, it's not going to work. And that's another thing, sometimes people miss it because they want to stay with this one. They want to stay with that one. It's about friends. It's not about friendship. Not saying that you cannot have friends within that collaboration, but you can't take everybody with you because it won't be fitly joined. It has to be according to purpose. In order for your vision to produce profitability, it has to be according to purpose. So be definite. Be definite. And I'm going to drop in the comment section a book that I've written. And I wrote this, several years back. And I'm going to also be writing a sequel to this book to take it to another level. And it's called Unapologetically You, a 30-day transformation to winning. And it teaches you how to, find your identity, your true identity, because a lot of people do not know their true identity. And this is something, y'all, that's very vital. You have to know who you are. You have to, or you'll settle for less. And you won't strive to meet your goals, or you won't reach your goals. Okay? You won't push forward that momentum. You won't have that drive because guess what? It's not yours. It's not yours. It's not yours. So, go and check out that book, Unapologetically You, a 30-day transformation to winning, because it starts with you. Everything starts with you. But you have to decide, you have to make the choice. You have to make the decision. And this is your time to make that decision. Do you want to stay stuck where you are and not move forward and have things just continue as they have been for the past 10 years? What changes have you seen in your life? Has there been some dramatic changes that has propelled you years forward? Or are you in the same spot? Or are you moving at a slow pace? Just sitting back thinking, whatever will be, will be. You remember that song, Que Sera, Sera? Whatever will be, will be? No, y'all, no. Everything is evolving. So let's evolve. Let's, move forward with your dreams, with your purpose, with your vision. Be definite. Make a decision that allows for no turning back. And I'm going to even go further with that. Make a decision today, because it's not by accident that you're listening to this podcast or this live stream. It's time for you to come out of your comfort zone. And it's time for you to stop seeing yourself as insignificant, as small, as having no value. Some of you may not even have thought about that, about you being valuable. It didn't even enter your mind. You just think that you're living, existing. But you have value and you have worth. And just like you move everybody else forward, it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to go to that next level. And we're going to go to the next one. Good morning, Regina. How you doing today? It's great seeing you here. Understanding your path. Understanding your path is by design. And this goes right along with what I've been saying. Understanding your path is by design. You cannot allow other people to define you. You have to know who you are. Well, I'm glad you're doing fine today, Regina. It's good seeing you here. It's such a great pleasure to have you here with me today, or with us today. And it's by design, your path. It's not a time to hide behind things, and what I mean by things, other people's opinion. It's time for your vision to produce profitability. It's time for you to see your value. You have to understand that the path you're on. And that comes with you knowing who you are and knowing what you have to offer. What value do you have inside of you? What gems do you have inside of you? What treasures do you have inside of you that you can introduce to the world stage? You see, I'm telling you, I'm stretching you. I'm saying the world stage. I'm not saying this little corner where, you think you see yourself and you're too scared to go outside of this corner because you're afraid of other people's opinions of you. A lot of times, that's something that you imagine in your mind. It's a mindset because I'm going to tell you, people aren't even thinking about you. They're so busy, wrapped up in the things that they're doing. You have to understand the path that you're on. And it makes a big, big difference. It makes a big difference. Yes, understanding my path is by design. You're so right. I am glad to be off from work to listen. Well, I'm glad you're off too, Regina, because we're talking about vision to produce profitability. And, we're breaking this down today, talking about understanding your path, being definite and seen, and not being trying to copy the opinions of others or the things that others are doing and trying to make it fit, our purpose. Each of us has a unique purpose, a unique journey. Even though there may be others on the journey walking toward, a forward movement, put it that way. But there are different destinations. And sometimes it may be that they may arrive at a nearby destination. It could be right across from the other, but it's still going to be different. And we cannot allow others to define us, to say, well, this is the way that you have to do it. That's the way that you have to do it. You have to know what you have to do. You have to see it. You have to understand it. Like I say, it's good to take advice. But then there comes a point in your life on this journey where you have to walk that walk by yourself because it's your path. It's your journey. It's your way of reaching your destination. It's yours, okay? We're unique. We're uniquely made. And don't ever apologize for the way that you take. It doesn't matter, if people don't understand. It doesn't matter if they get mad. It doesn't matter if they say things. It just does not matter. What matters is that you know who you are, that you know your path, that you know your vision, that you know your goals, that you know your plans in order to reach your goal. And most importantly, that you will win. And that you unapologetically you. That you are unapologetically you. because you will win. That's why you're here. Each of us has a purpose, and God has a plan for each of our lives. So understand your path is by design. God designed it that way. He designed it that way. So you can't allow anybody else to make you feel uncomfortable, criticize you, or anything of that nature. Be unapologetically you. Here's another one. When we're talking about vision to produce profitability, what is planted inside of you? You have to know this. What's implanted inside of you? What do I have that will produce what I see? You have to know yourself better than anybody else could describe you. And I said, don't allow people's decisions or opinions of you, cause you to falter. But this is something when you go and define yourself, you will know what's planted on the inside of you. What is planted inside of you? Because what's planted inside of you is, that vision that you saw. You remember, you can't see it until you see it. You can't, you have to see it. Put it this way. You have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. And you can't arrive at your destination unless you saw it. So what's planted inside of you? What seed is planted inside of you that will produce that end result? You remember, an apple tree cannot come from an orange seed. It produces after it's got an apple seed, will produce an apple tree. So really, what is planted inside of you? What is being nurtured inside of you? That's why I tell you about collaborations. Collaborations are very important because it depends on who you collaborating with that will help you, and you help each other to produce that seed that's planted on the inside of them that will bring that end result. That will bring. It's not about gathering up people, but it's about purpose. What purpose? What is your purpose? What is your purpose? You have a purpose. I have a purpose. We all have a purpose. What is planted inside of you? And you have to know this. That's why, it's good to get away and, feed yourself with knowledge and get an understanding. With all that get an understanding of what you are carrying on the inside, because what you are carrying on the inside is precious, and somebody is waiting for it. It's not just somebody's, okay? They're waiting for it because you have a responsibility, whether you're an author, whether you're a small business owner, whatever it is, brick and mortar, you have a responsibility with your products, your services, your books, okay, your courses, your classes, whatever it is, to change the trajectory of somebody's life. And not only that person's life, but their family's life, the people that they're surrounding themselves with, their sphere of influence, and also for generations to come. So what is planted inside of you that's going to shift somebody's mindset, somebody's way of thinking, to make somebody's life, better? What is it that's planted inside of you? And most importantly, your value. What is it? What is it that you could bring to the world stage that will leave a legacy for you? That's something that you have to know, y'all. It's something that you have to know. And like I say, it's by design. This path is by design. You know? Yes, Regina, the right collaborations. Because you know what? A lot of times what people do, they just collaborate with people just to have people on their team, or all these people. I got all these people that I'm collaborating with. And sometimes people don't understand collaborations. So I'm going to put it that way. I'm saying they don't understand it. They just want to have all these people and, maybe I'll get something. Maybe they don't even think that way. Okay. They just do it by, default collaboration. Because right now, collaboration and networking, that seems like the the end word, the end thing to do. And so everybody's doing it. But it has to be by purpose. It has to be by design. Because in order to move the needle forward and to see yourself just like your collaboration partner. I'm not saying yours, I'm just saying a person's collaborations partners that they're moving the needle toward their goals. It has to be by design. People have to understand. And like I say, with all that getting, we have to get an understanding. That's why it's so important for people to have the right knowledge, to invest in themselves, where other people who are in a place where people desire to go, to be in those rooms, okay? To be in those rooms, and not hold back on, well, I can't afford, or, maybe next time. No, this is the time to do those things. We can't look back and say, well, I'm going to make a sacrifice and do this. It's not a sacrifice. Okay. It's not a sacrifice when people are already living a mediocre lifestyle. They're living below, their knowledge. They're living below where they need to be. Okay, nobody needs to live below where they need to be. It's got to be a forward progression. It's got to be a forward movement. So there's no sacrifice there. There's no sacrifice there. There is a decision that needs to be made in order to evolve and be ahead instead of, hanging behind. Because if you look at a lot of times, you look at people, you look at things that's happening. You see people, they're not really evolving. They copying behind what somebody else is doing. And like I say, it's not a bad thing, not to say copy, but to get advice. But, you have to know who you are and you have to know your path. That's why I say, write the vision down and make it plain. I tell y'all all the time, audience, to write the vision down and make it plain upon papers, that he that read it may run. Though the vision tarry, wait for it, because it's not going to lie. And write your goals down and write your plans in order to reach those goals, knowing your purpose, knowing the people that you're serving, knowing their pain points, knowing, what grieves you. Knowing those things is very, very important, and have everything written down and always keep it before your eyes. Always work on it each and every day. Rehearse it in the morning. See yourself. Of course, see yourself, achieving what you desire to achieve. But it's a forward progression, It's something that's constantly moving in our lives, This is a great discussion. Yeah, Regina, I believe it is. And, when I thought of this last night, I say I got to bring this forward because this is something that a lot of people, and I thank you for that, okay? I thank you for that. This is something that a lot of people miss. A lot of people miss, and, this is how they leave money on the table. This is how they don't maximize their potential. This is how they find themselves stuck. And I figured that if I bring the truth, if I show people where they're falling short, then this is something that will help them. This is something that will help them to see that, look, I'm unique. I have gifts. I have talents. I have abilities that, I'm just not mediocre. I don't want people to think that they're mediocre. I want people to see themselves as a valuable resource, to see themselves as winning, to see themselves, well, I don't have to be here any longer. I can move forward. To see themselves where they have been helping, everybody else, and they've been pushing themselves on the back burner. To see themselves, hey, it's time for me. It's time for me to do the things that, I desire to do. I've been sitting in the back too long. I've been sitting on the sidelines too long. It's time for me. And that's a great thing right now. It's time for me. I want y'all to say that with me. It's time for me. It's time for me. And it certainly is, time for you. It's time for you to get out and do those things that you have always wanted to do. It's your time. It's your time. And like I said, don't look at it as a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. It's, you are a hot commodity. A lot of times people put more value in cars and houses and boats and everything else. They see these things as big, okay? But they see themselves as small. You're a living human being. And, you should be investing in yourself, your money, your time. You just got to invest in yourself, y'all. You got to invest in yourself because it's going to move the needle. It's going to bring more knowledge to you. It's going to help you to understand that you have value, that you have purpose, that you're not just an afterthought, that you're not just existing, that you're not just somebody, okay, who's living and breathing, but you are somebody who's designed by God to reach those things that you need to do, and to do those things that he has called you to do. His will. Let his will be done through your life. Let his will be done. Let's bring Eden to earth. Let his will be done, and on earth and in earth as it is in heaven. And not living, not struggling, not missing the mark, but listening for that still soft voice. And, it's so impactful, y'all. It's so impactful. And that's what I hope that, you all receive from this message today. Yes. And when you say, Regina, you say, it's time for me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's time for you. It's time for you. And it's time for each and every one of you on this broadcast. It's your time, to understand the things that God has for you. He has great things for you. It's your time, exactly. And here's another one. And this is our final one. To restore your vision to see clearly. Vision to produce profitability. To restore your vision to see clearly. Block out, and I wrote it down, block out all the visions that you have adapted to that are not yours. And what it means by adapted to, adjusting yourself to fit. That's another thing with being unapologetically you. You don't have to adjust yourself to fit. Not at all. If people don't like you, if people don't accept you, if people don't whatever you, don't you apologize. You be unapologetically you. You just remove them or you remove yourself. If they don't appreciate who you are, if they don't appreciate your work, if they don't understand you, that's on them. That's not on you. And they are missing out. Okay? You're not missing out because you're exactly where you need to be. Okay? Exactly where you need to be because you have decided within yourself that you are not going to apologize, that you're going to live out your vision, that you're going to walk your path, that you understand who you are. You have a purpose. You have a vision. You have goals. You have plans to reach those goals. So you don't have no reason to apologize. If they don't accept you, they'll let them talk. Who cares? Okay? Who cares? Let them get in line. If anybody, how would I say this, has all this time to be concerned about you, what are they doing about themselves? I know I don't have the time. I don't have the time to look and see what this one's doing. Look and see what that one's doing. I don't have the time. With my mentees, I take time out with them and we talk about things. I look at things that they present to me. I follow them and look at things, but that's only because they're my mentees. But otherwise, outside of that, and that's just for scheduled time. But restore your vision, okay, to see clearly. Don't adjust yourself. Don't adapt to anything, Yes, it is our season. It's our season, Regina. It certainly is our season. That's for everybody. This is your season. But restore your vision to see clearly. Those opinions of others, that don't matter. That doesn't matter at all. It's just somebody's opinion. But define yourself. Know who you are. Know who you are. And see it clearly. And if there's something there when you defining yourself, you're in that solitary place that you don't like about yourself, it's okay. Give yourself permission to change it. Okay? And change it with something that you do want. And put action toward it. And it will change. You just have to make up in your mind that, nothing has to remain the same. It can change. That's what happened to people. They get stuck. And you even hear people say, well, I've been this way for 45 years. I've been this way for 25 years. I'm not changing. I'm just setting my ways. You even hear people say, so-and-so setting their ways. Don't be setting your ways, y'all. It doesn't have to be that way. You can change. But you have to give yourself permission to change. Give yourself permission to change, to reach your goals. Vision to produce profitability. Okay? When we talk about vision to produce profitability, we want you to win. I want you to have more than enough. Okay? More than enough to meet your needs and meet the needs of others. Okay? That's what you were designed for. To be able to produce and have that profitability. But you have to, see it. So restore your vision to see clearly. What God has for you is for you. Be definite. Okay? Don't allow others to define you. You can't allow this. Others can't define you. Or you trying to define yourself, trying to please somebody, trying to define yourself. Understand your path. Your path is by design. It's by design. And it's going to only work for you. Because it was designed that way to work for you. Isn't that good? That's power by itself. That means if it's for you, you're going to win. Okay, so don't stray off the path. You're walking down this path. You're moving forward. And I believe all of you are moving forward. I believe all of you needed to hear this message today to let you know you're on the right path. There's some things that you got to throw off that path, okay? Those distractions. Just keep moving. Keep moving. Don't let those distractions stop you. And if fear comes there because maybe you don't understand something, don't be afraid of it. Face fear face to face. Use fear as a stepping stone or a launching pad. That's all you do. But keep down your path. Keep walking down your path, okay? And understand what's planted on the inside of you. What is that seed that's planted on the inside of you that's going to bring you profitability in all areas of your life? All areas. Not just one area, but all areas. Your mind's going to be renewed. Your mind's going to be transformed. You know, you're going to have energy. You're going to have momentum. You're going to have those wonderful thoughts. Wonderful thoughts. Okay? Wonderful. Restore your vision to see clearly. You're going to see so clear, so crystal clear, you won't be able to miss it. You won't be guessing at it. You won't be unsure about yourself. But you'll know that you know that you know that this is the right thing for you. So I hope that you know what I have shared with you, and I thank y'all for joining me today. And I thank you for, taking time out of your busy schedule. I hope that, these nuggets that I have shared with you should, and I hope they will help you see that you are a beautiful, unique individual that needs not to apologize for anything. Okay? Just remain who you are. Remain who you are in your uniqueness. Of course, none of us are perfect. We got things that, God's still working on, okay? But let's get those things together. Let's say, yes, Lord. Let's get those things together. But change, if the Holy Spirit's telling you to change some things, it's okay to change it. Okay? If you don't know how, ask him, and he'll show you. But vision to produce profitability. I'm loving the journey despite obstacles and challenges. But you know what? These obstacles and challenges, it doesn't matter. They are actually a good thing because now it's shortening your navigation. Okay? You know how GPS tell you if there's an obstacle or something, it'll reroute you. Okay? Allow yourself to be rerouted, okay? It's just shortening you. That's all. It's shortening you. And when you go around those routes, when GPS reroutes us because there's an obstacle or something in the way, construction or whatever it may be, then we get to see things that we never seen before. And, we get to experience things that we would have never experienced, okay? So look at it as a good thing. Look at it as something that you could add to your arsenal. Now, this is giving you something that you could use in order to sharpen whatever path that you're on, in order to bring something extra to your audience, whatever that might be. Expand your perception of things. It gives you some added tools. You see, when you look at it that way, it just changes everything about it. Okay? Then when obstacles come, when challenges come, when fears come, then you won't see them like that anymore. But you'll begin to welcome them, saying, okay, what am I going to learn from this? Or what is this trying to tell me? So it gives you something extra to add to your arsenal. That's all. Or something extra to add to your tools. Put it that way. Because I don't want it to look like an arsenal where, you're using something to defend yourself. No. Let's use this word as tools. Okay, it's giving you some extra tools that maybe wouldn't have come into your life, but through this obstacle and challenge, well, now you got something extra that you could present. And just think of all the content and all the material that you have now because of these obstacles and challenges or fears. But it's something that's it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, y'all. It's mind-blowing. But just like I said, Regina, this is a wonderful journey. It's a wonderful time to be alive. It's a wonderful time to, be able to crush these things, these dreams, these visions, these goals. and everything that the good Lord has allowed us to see for such a time as this. And this is our time. This is our time. And it's a great time, y'all, to be alive. It's a great time to be alive and to live out those things that God has purposed it for us to do. So with that being said, I thank y'all. I hope y'all got these nuggets. I have to, a lot of times I have to go back and I have to listen to these broadcasts myself with these nuggets to, strengthen me, y'all, strengthen me also, and give me something, something extra too. But with that being said, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with me today. And I hope that you have enjoyed this broadcast. And I look forward to seeing you the next time on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And with that being said, remember this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.